Hi everybody, it's Nikki Chanel here, and today we are going to be starting our new YouTube series called Makeup for Trans Women. Now, one of the reasons I want to do this series is I've been asked by a lot of you girls about, just overall makeup use, like what type of makeup to use, where do you buy it, all that. And so the idea behind this series, this is going to be quite a bit long series, is going to be a comprehensive guide to makeup, specifically makeup for trans women. And as you will learn in this video series, there is a difference in how that looks versus women versus trans women, okay? Different facial, different bone structures. So we'll get into all of that stuff. And so we are going to begin this by talking a little bit about my experiences with makeup. So I got into my sister's makeup at about 9 years old, was the first instance I started using her makeup. And I bought my own makeup when I was 18 after I got my first paycheck, as you saw from my video. Now, makeup's been one of those things that I've wanted to learn forever, and only recently do I feel really confident in my makeup ability to actually go outside and actually pass, because makeup has been a pretty large driving force behind how I'm able to actually pass, how I'm able to do my Instagram, and overall be the girl that I've always wanted to be. Now, one other thing too is that when you first get started using makeup, you're gonna be ridiculed and be like, why is that boy using makeup? It doesn't matter how far you are into your transition. Some people, the haters are still gonna call you male, they're still gonna call you sir. But what I've learned is if you're just confident in it and you just slowly grow into it, you will get better. Then the other caveat that I wanna talk about before we get started is get ready to spend a lot of money. My makeup that I use, I think I have $200 at least invested into the products that I am currently wearing on my face right now. That's give or take a little bit. And obviously, depending on how much you use, you're gonna use a lot more, okay? So let us get started by first talking about how to actually go out and get makeup, where to buy makeup, where to buy the brushes, and all of that. And also today is the Barbie movie release date. So that is why we have our Barbie dress and our Barbie heels on. Okay, babe, so now let's get started. Okay, now to actually start buying makeup, honestly what I would recommend is to start with what is classified as drugstore makeup. Drugstore brands. These are L'Oreal, NYX in some instances, Maybelline, CoverGirl, e.l.f. Cosmetics, Physicians Formula. I would start with that stuff, because honestly is that I have seen a lot of looks with drugstore makeup that is actually really good. Like this lady was wearing this eyeshadow the other day and I was like, wow, is that like an Anastasia? She's like, no, it's some CoverGirl palette I bought. I'm like, wow, okay, that's awesome. The other thing of why I tell you you should start with drugstore brands is the price point. What you're gonna start learning, especially if you start with like MAC or Anastasia or, what is it? There's a couple of other, like YSL makeup. You are gonna start learning that stuff's really expensive. Like my foundation is $44, my concealer is $29, and my average MAC lipstick cost is about $20. So what I would recommend, especially if you're on a budget, is to start with drugstore products, because you're gonna get a lot of the same results from it, especially early on, especially if you are completely brand new and a complete beginner. You're not really gonna notice the differences between drugstore and high-end brands. Like with me, I remember my first couple of makeup instances, that makeup was crap because I didn't know anything, but I started cheap and I went through a lot of foundation and a lot of concealer and a lot of lipstick, just throwing all that stuff on my face. But it was good for me because I bought cheap, and then once I learned better and started to do less with more, I then moved into high-end brands. The other reason I'm gonna tell you to shop at big box chains that sell drugstore makeups like Walgreens, Kroger, Albertsons, Walmart, is that there's these certain auras that if you're buying makeup there, like no one really cares. Like I know that for me, I thought that, I was gonna get ridiculed if I walked into Ulta and bought tons of makeup. But I was actually never ridiculed, but I had that fear within me. Like, I'm trying to do this feminine thing, but I look so male. Like that just doesn't work. That just doesn't work. And so I had that fear with me, and it was unfounded, I learned eventually. But if you have a fear of like walking into MAC and buying MAC lipstick, I would start with CoverGirl because it's in the middle of a store. Who cares? There's a lot of other people there. It doesn't matter. The employees see people come and go. Now, the only bad part about buying at a drugstore is you cannot get someone to recommend products to you. There's no real testing. There's no expert there to talk to about makeup. Simply put, drugstore makeup is just there to start out with, but you can eventually lean into the higher ends once you learn. But I would definitely recommend starting with drugstore because that stuff's way cheaper and you're gonna use a lot of it learning. Okay, now let's talk about some of the essentials to buy at the very beginning. Now, you also have to keep in mind that when you first start doing makeup, it's just gonna look bad unless you're a savant. I wish I was a savant. It's not going to look how you want it. It's not gonna look like the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's not gonna look like a model walking down the Victoria's Secret runway. You are going to start at a baseline, then you're gonna learn from there. Now, what I would start with primer. Primer is one of the first things I started with as it acts as a base to makeup so as not to have your pores poke through, because your pores, you're gonna learn this, secrete sweat, like I'm doing right now, and it's going to shine through your makeup and give you that glossy look, which is what I have right now. Then the other thing I would start with is foundation. Now foundation, you're gonna go through quite a bit of foundations early on until you get color matched at like a place like MAC or Ulta or Sephora to figure out what your color is for your foundation. Now an easy way to tell what your color is if you look at the back of your wrist right here, that generally is the color of your skin tone, okay? So I would use that as a base if you have no one to color match you. The other one I would start with for really basic stuff is just lipstick. Lipstick is super easy. Lipstick is not hard to take off. So if you need to take it off really fast to hide from someone, you can do that. Don't worry about it. Lipstick is good. Just pick your favorite color. A lot of people start with red because you see it on E, you see it in movies. Red is a beautiful color, but it's also hard to put on right though. So I would be cautious of that. The other one is start with mascara. Mascara is a really basic starting point, and I know a lot of women and trans women that if they're rushed in their day, they just put on mascara right before they leave, and then that's it. Mascara is really easy to put on. It's not very hard. You can mess up, but again, it's all about practice. Then the other thing I would also start with is skincare. Now, early on, you're not gonna know much about skincare, but essentially what skincare is it's exactly how it sounds. It's taking care of your skin. Because the better your skin is and the better your pores are and just the overall health of your skin is going to make your makeup look better. Me, I'm pretty consistent on my skincare, so my makeup stays a lot better now and also looks a lot healthier in it. Now, just a caveat, when you start out with makeup, especially if you were blessed as a male with tons of facial hair like I was, it's gonna shine through it. Facial hair shines through makeup. It's just the way that it does. It's the way that the color is that facial hair gives off blue undertones. So we will get into how to hide facial hair in the future, but just know that if you hate your facial hair like I did, it's gonna shine through. Don't worry, there's ways to cover it and there's ways to get rid of it moving forward. Now, I would also buy makeup remover. Makeup remover, there's a million different brands of makeup remover. I would just buy like the really basic starting stuff. I bought one that was like in a tube bottle. You put it in the shower and you take it off your face. I think it was like Revlon or L'Oreal makeup remover. Any one of them will work, do not worry, but I would definitely recommend to take off your makeup every day because you have to take your makeup off for the health of your skin, okay? Now, let us go on to our last topic. Okay, so now you've bought all the products. You went to Walmart, you went to Kroger and bought all the products. Now you're home, what do? You practice. Now, for me, I had to hide my early makeup from my parents because they didn't like it. And so I came up with a lot of different strategies for how to take it off really fast. So what I would do is that if you have a day off where there's no one in your house, especially like a spouse or your parents or a wife or anything like that, I would start by practicing makeup that day. Now, I would first start with a good shower, just a really nice good shower to kind of get your face clean, and then go out there, do your skincare and start with makeup and go from there. But there's 4 main points that you always have to figure out is that Remember, early on, it's all about practice, 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 practice. Makeup breeds routine and skill through practice. That is what I'm gonna recommend. The other one is to also plan your day. So if you have, like I'm gonna tell you right now, if your spouse has gone for 20 minutes to the grocery store to run down and get like ravioli sauce, I would not do makeup. But if your wife is at like her job, or your husband's at a job, I would start with that. Like they're gone for 8 hours. You can do a lot of makeup in 8 hours. You can easily put it on, take it off, shower, and do everything. Like me earlier today, my makeup and hair combined took about 2 hours, and that was from shower to walking out the door. So it's easy to plan your day. The other thing is that, especially if you're trying to hide it from people, to have exit strategies and to have something planned. So they'd be like, oh crap, like they're walking in the door, I gotta take it off really fast, done. Plan that out. Like have your makeup remover sitting there next to like a washcloth, have like the shower there, and always have that exit plan. So like me, I used to text my parents like, hey, when are you coming home? When are you coming home? When are you coming home? They always used to be like, damn, you want us home all the time? I'm like, no, I wanna know when you're gonna be here so I know when to take my makeup off, okay? So I would definitely always have an exit plan, especially if you were trying to hide it from someone. Now, if you were not hiding it from someone, go ahead, do whatever you want, go from there. Now, the other one too is that as part of practicing, start watching makeup videos, start looking at Pinterest for different ideas, start looking at Instagram for makeup ideas. There's a ton of fucking makeup videos on YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, like there's tons of them. TikTok has a million of them. So I would start looking into there, because I don't know everything, and I still look up YouTube videos for makeup practice. I still look at Pinterest to get ideas. So it's all about like taking in all around you and finding your own flair to makeup. Like me, I love the glamour aspect. I love like the glamour. I'm not a natural person. I want the glamour. I want to be like the star of the room. So my makeup reflects that level. And so that is what I'm going to recommend, okay? It's all about practice, plan your day, and always have an exit strategy. Okay, babes, thank you for sitting with me through the first Makeup for Trans Women video. I hope you learned a couple things from this. I hope I've kind of imparted some wisdom onto you. If you have any questions, please write it down in the comments. I will answer every single one of them as I look at them constantly. So please write your comments. Please ask questions, okay? But the main thing that I'm gonna say right now, as the only thing I want you to get out of this video, is makeup's all about practice. Practice, 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 practice. Like even me doing makeup for I think 11 years by this point, I still learn new things. I learn it from my sisters, I learn it from my friends, I learn it from the women in my life, I learn it from Instagram. So everything is all about practice with makeup. So if you are down on your first couple of attempts, just know you will get better, okay? You will get better. Now, as always, thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, hit the bell button, and please leave your comments in the videos, and there will be more videos to come in our Trans Women Makeup series, okay? And this is Nikki Chanel. Have a wonderful day, babes.